Hi, this is Tool 27, Hunt and Focus. This is a very philosophical tool because you need to determine what works for you and what deficits you have. It's very hard because you have to be honest with yourself, and the personal nature of singing makes it that much harder because you're evaluating yourself, and that's always really hard to do, especially in middle school. So that honesty is going to really help you in this tool, hunting and focusing, because if you can identify what things you're weak at, and it will help finding and dealing with those deficits much easier. And then you'll have much more success because you're dealing with the deficits first and not the easy parts. So before you sing any exercise, I want you to think about what gives you the hardest time. And that can be pitch, that can be rhythm, that can be identifying the key signatures, any one of those spots. So before you even attack that, you've got to realize which part of the sight singing process gives you the most difficult time. And outside of the sight singing process, focus on getting those tools more solid in your brain. If I'm someone that has trouble with pitch, I'm going to look for places that have difficult pitch. And in this example right here, everything here is stepwise, and so you got to be able to scan really quick through it. Step, step, step. Oh, there's some skips. Usually skips are the hardest part, okay? And then we got step, 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 steps going. So I'm going to go to the one measure that has skips. That is the hunting process. You're hunting, hunting, hunting for that thing that gives you the most difficult time. So this is the measure that gives you skips. And so this is going to be probably the measure that gives you the most hardest time. So start there. So if we look at the key signature, fa, mi, re, do. So the bottom line is do. So we got to find the pitches first. Now you do find, hold, drill, right? Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la. Now do pitch first, pitch only. La, sol, fa, mi, re, do, ti. That sounds like the re, fa, la tool. Re, fa, la. There we go. La, fa, re, ti, do. Just like re, fa, la, fa, re, ti, do. That part of the sight singing ritual, right? So now that we know what that is, now we can probably do this much easier because we recognize this is, oh, I got to engage the re, fa, la tool in this measure. So that's the hunting, and then focusing on the measure that you're going to have to work on the most. If you have a difficult time with rhythm, you're going to scan through and look for the difficult parts that have rhythm. Some people find it difficult to recognize rests. Some people have difficult time remembering how many pulses to give a half note or a dotted quarter note. So the steps you can go through, first you got to identify how many pulses each one gets. So I'm going to scan through this. Okay, I got dotted quarter notes. They give me a hard time, so that's one to remember. There's another one, but it's got eighth notes too. This one has a half note and a half note rests. Dotted quarters, good. Okay, this one's the same as that. And so I'm going to identify things with the dotted quarter notes because they give me the most trouble. So if I hunt for those measures, that's this one, and this one. And so I'm going to start with the first one because that seems to be the first place to start. So if I remember right, if I'm doubling, and should know how to double by now, dotted quarter note gets 3 pulses. Eighth note gets 1. That gets 2, and the quarter note gets 2. And so I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2. And so then you put it in your head and do the counting part. Te, ti, ta, ta. be sure to do it slow. So then, te, ti, ta, ta. Then use your hand. So each step adds a little layer onto it. Te, ti, ta, ta. Then you can add the pitch. So here's fa, mi, re, do. Do, re, mi, fa, sol. And then pulse with your hand and go. So, fa, mi, re, do. And then you got to do the same process for all the measures with that dotted quarter note. So you hunt for that thing that you have trouble with, then you focus on it. That is hunt and focus. So there is tool number 27, hunt and focus.